Hello everyone, I'm Ryan Nicholas Ray.
And I'm DeWitt, your co-host.
With us today is a person who works at a golf course.
And it's also Ryan. It's also May. It's time to start gardening
That's right,
again.
it's May again. You know, May is known for gardening. With us today is a gardening expert on this matter. Please welcome my neighbor, our guest at this time, Mrs. Sawyer. Mrs. Sawyer, thanks for coming down today.
Thank you for inviting me, Ryan.
Where we left off, I'll ask the question where we left off. We left off with, what elementary school and high school did you attend?
I went to school in Highland Park, Michigan, and the school I went to, the elementary school, is called Barber School, and I went to Highland Park High School. That's where I graduated from.
Highland Park. What did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, there were a lot of different things. I thought about being a teacher. I thought about being a doctor. When people went into space, I wanted to be an astronaut. But I always liked science.
Well, science is fun. So, did you participate in any sports or other activities in school?
The main activity I did in school was playing in the band. I played clarinet.
Clarinet.
Yes, and I played a little bit of tennis, but I wasn't very good.
David,
So please tell us about your clients.
Okay, well, the Pine Trace is a public golf course in Rochester Hills, and it's an 18-hole course, and I am the person who's responsible for taking care of the flowers and shrubs, and I plant the beds and maintain them.
What sort of contracts do you have?
Well, I'm what you call a seasonal employee. So I work from about the third week of April. It depends on the weather. So if it's average spring, I start about the third week of April, and then I work until about the end of October.
Ryan?
Thank you, David. Mrs. Sawyer, what sort of tools would you recommend for the beginning gardener? For a beginning gardener?
Well, I think that you would need a leaf rake and a metal garden rake and a good shovel, sharp shovel, and a hoe and a good set of pruners.
Okay.
That's a good start.
What tools must the gardener have? Like, what are some of the common tools you'd find the gardener must have?
Rakes and shovels, pruners, something to get weeds out with, and a wheelbarrow. Those are good tools.
Okay. What are some of the tools not needed?
Well, sometimes some things you might only need for special jobs, like maybe things like, maybe like a chainsaw or
Okay.
something like that. You might only need once in a while.
Okay. Can some tools do different jobs?
Yes. You can use your rake for getting out leaves, and like now we're doing our spring cleanup where we're getting all the leaves from the fall that are still there. But I also will use my garden rake when I get the beds ready and I want to get the soil nice and smooth before I put my plants in. I'll use a rake for that too.
David, you have a question?
Yes, I do, Ryan. Do you have advice clients about indoor plants, selection and care?
Well, sometimes when I'm working there, people will come and ask me questions about their plants, and so I do try my best to answer them.
Do you send customers to one plant store?
No, not one special one, no.
Why's that?
Because I think we're lucky we live where we have a lot of good plant stores around, so And
Wow.
I think that, so I don't send people to one particular one.
Point well taken. Ryan?
Thank you, David. Are you currently advertising your skills as skills to homeowners?
Well, no, not right now, because my time is spent pretty much at the golf course. There's a lot of work to do. So usually by the time I'm finished working there at the end of the day, I don't have much time to work somewhere else or much energy left.
You don't? So you go to the office, you're like, oh, well, I do this today, that today, you know? That's what basically people do in gardening.
Well, everything. I work at the golf course. We start at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I work until about 2 to 3, depending on how much there is to do.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a long time to work there, working at the golf course. David, do you have a question?
Ryan, do you specialize in outdoor plants, shrubs, and trees?
Yes, that's what I do mostly now. I do specialize in things that are outside, and I mostly the flowers and shrubs, and a little bit with the trees.
Do you buy these for customers, or do you deliver or have customers pick up?
Well, I buy them for the golf course, and what I do is in the fall we decide what we're going to do, what kind of beds we're going to have, and determine how many plants we need, and then we purchase them, make the order for the spring.
David?
Ryan, do you make house calls to customers?
I sometimes help out friends or family who ask me for advice and suggestions.
Do you help them plant pot plants, trim, or fertilize?
Yes, mostly I make suggestions about what they might plant, or if they're not sure what something is and I can identify it, I'll do that and tell them how to take care of it.
Do you help customers to put their plants in the right spot?
Yes, because that's very important, to put the right plant in the right spot so that it will have a good chance to survive and grow well. That's what I do at the golf course too. When we decide that we're going to make a new bed somewhere, put plants in, we have to figure out, is this a sunny spot or a shady spot? Does it get a lot of water or does it not get a lot of water?
Ryan?
Thank you, David. So sorry, now, do you hire yourself out to do actual work?
No, Ryan, I don't.
Oh, well, that's a... If not, do you have employees on your work team?
Yes, at Pine Trace, there are, for the outdoor maintenance and groundskeeping crew, there are 19 of us.
19? Wow, that's a lot of people.
Yes, it
So
is.
each person does like a different task. One person does the beds, person does the lawns. That must be a lot of work for you.
Well, golf course does take a lot of work. Most of the people who, most of those 19 people help with the mowing and all the maintaining of the actual greens and tees and the course. And then myself and one other person take care of the gardens.
David?
Okay, speaking of work, my question is based on that. Do you handle all parts of your business?
Well, I handle the gardening part at the golf course. So that means that in the spring, I cut back and prune whatever needs to be pruned, clean up the leaves, get the beds ready, put out mulch. If I haven't had a chance to divide plants from the fall, I'll do that. Just getting things ready until we're going to plant in a few weeks.
Do you estimate on the golf course? Do you purchase the flowers? Do you have hours to look at? Do you have referrals at the golf course or billings?
Okay, when we plant at the golf course, I'd say that we purchase about 150 flats of annuals,
Flats. That's a lot of plants.
Yeah, it is. That is a lot.
That's
of
a lot of
plants.
plants, Mrs. Sawyer.
That's
for
a lot of
for a
plants.
golf course.
Yeah,
I think the course. It's pretty.
and
I've seen your work. It's awesome.
and it then we don't purchase many perennials, just a few. Mostly we've got a good selection there, and we divide them as they get big and put them where we want. And the other thing is that we always have to think about, like I said, if someplace is sunny or if it's shady, if it's going to get enough water. We also, when we design a bed or put plants in at the golf course, we have to make sure it doesn't get in the golfer's way, make finding the ball difficult.
I know, Mrs.
Yeah,
Sawyer.
and the other big thing that we have to think about when we put in plants is we have a big problem with deer, and also we have rabbits. We have a lot of wildlife on the golf course.
Let me finish.
Yeah. So when I pick a plant, I have to think about, now, is this going to be something that the deer are going to find really good?
You know something really works? There's a product called I think it's, if you want to use it on your golf course, try using fox urine. That smell.
That is
I
one
have a
thing.
personal question. Why deer?
Well, we have a lot of deer because it's a big, like a huge park. It's about over 150 acres, and then right across the street there's a big park in
right.
Troy, so we have lots of deer.
What's the estimate on the amount of deer?
Oh, there must be at least 20 deer or more. And that's one of the things that we do in the spring is we have to spray the flowers as they start to come up we put a deer repellent. That means it's something that the deer smell and they don't like it, so they go yuck and they leave it alone so it can grow.
I got a question.
Yes, I do. Do you suggest landscaping designs?
Sometimes, but that's one of the things I like the most at my job. I like to design new beds.
You
That's
do?
a lot of fun, yeah.
The plant say this plant goes there, that plant goes there. Okay. Are you the one who making a sketch on paper?
Yes, I do that, right. When I get an idea in my head, then I draw it out, measure it out.
Do you use artist pencils?
Not for myself. I just use regular pencil and paper, but if someone was doing a sketch for somebody else, they probably would use artist pencils.
Do you use a camera and a computer?
I use a camera. I don't use a computer, but I do use a camera a lot. I take before and after pictures, and when I'm trying to get ideas, I take pictures from different angles and help that and look at those pictures to help me and make my design.
I mean, I'll tell you, my mom when she designed her garden, she had what mulch goes there. So what type of mulch you guys use? What type of mulch you guys use at the golf course? You use like a cedar mulch or a pine mulch?
Yeah, well, at the most of the beds we use a mulch called pine straw.
Pine straw.
And it's like it's they call it straw because it's dried, but it's the pine needles, the dried pine needles that drop. That's what we spent a lot of the day today putting out.
That's David, I have a question from Mrs. Sawyer.
Yes. Would you tell us about what outdoor plants do during the winter?
Well, when fall comes and we're getting things ready for the winter, most of the plants have died, and we have to clean them up, cut them back, and rake them. And then the top of the plant, when a plant is a perennial, that means it's going to come back. It can survive our Michigan winters and come back the next year. But so the top of the plant that you see dies, but the roots under the ground are alive, and they stay alive through the winter until the spring comes, and then the ground starts getting warm, and then you start seeing the new little shoots come up.
You know what I hate when I go to a garden center and you go walk around all these perennials, all those names. My mother and I have when we go to a gardening center. We have absolutely no idea where these names came from. And it's hard. So can you please explain to me how do these plants get their different names?
Well, yeah, there's plants have two names. One is called the scientific name.
Okay.
And that's often a Latin name.
Okay.
And it's sometimes the person who discovers the plant might give it its Latin name. But the good thing about the scientific name is it's the same name any place in the country or the world you are.
Really?
So everybody will know that. Then it has the common name, but thing is that what in Michigan we might call a black-eyed Susan, maybe they call it something else somewhere. So sometimes names can be confusing when you use the common name. So that's why they have a scientific name too.
David,
Yes, I do, Ryan.
David?
Do you provide guidance for outdoor fountains?
Do I provide guidance for outdoor plantings?
Outdoor fountains.
Oh, fountains. Well, I really do like water gardening and ponds. And so if someone asked me, I'd be really happy to give them advice.
Because my cousin continues fish ponds and waterfalls.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know, speaking of ponds, you have a pond in your backyard, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And so do I.
And so do I.
Yes.
I have one.
My dad has one because it's been my dad's dream.
Oh,
Yeah, 'cause
it's
when
wonderful.
my mom, my mother and I
Ponds are-
had visit my mom and her friend Justin, who's the guy who comes and fixes our pond.
Mm-hmm.
We had to hand dig our pond by hand.
Yeah, it's
And
a lot of work.
And I had to work.
Yeah.
I had to do it. It was hard.
Yes, it
Wasn't
is hard
easy.
work, but once it's done, isn't it beautiful?
It was great.
It's pretty to look at,
So,
and the sound
do you
is nice.
recommend any particular gardening center?
Not any particular center, Ryan. We have a lot of good centers all around. We're very lucky. Mm-hmm.
Because I can remember one year coming for a job site job training once.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you at Bourdines.
That's right. I used to work there.
David and Gillette, she used to work at Bourdines, David.
Mm-hmm.
She used to be one of the purple people.
Yes, I was one of the purple
people.
That's right,
Yeah.
David.
Do you be purple people either?
Yes,
Yeah.
I got a lot of my gardening experience there.
Are you employed by a gardening center?
No, I am employed by the golf course, so I don't sell plants anymore. I just design and maintain them now.
Can every plant or shrub or tree live anywhere in our country?
No, plants are very particular about where they live. Some plants don't like our cold winters, so they won't live here through the winter. Maybe in the summer, but then they'll die in the winter and you have to buy it over again. And some plants don't like it really hot in the south. Some like the shade, some plants like the sun. So you have to know what a plant likes before you pick it.
I have a question. Why are plants so picky?
Dude, I can tell you why. We mentioned picky is because every time you see a plant at the gardening center, David, you know what the problem is? For Mother's Day, my mom some plants at Marcel, which is a gardening center that I go to a lot. I bought her plants for her garden. And it was really nice for Mother's. I gave my mother some plants for Mother's Day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Well,
please tell us.
plants are kind of picky because that's where they grow the best.
Really?
So they've changed to grow the best in the spot that they're from, called like a native plant. So if they're used to growing in the woods and it's shady in the woods, then that's where they want you to put them in your garden. They don't want to be out in the sun. They want you to put them in the shade because that's what they're used to. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Please tell us about your work at a golf course.
Okay, well, what I do is I take care of the garden beds, the flowers and shrubs that are around the clubhouse and the pro shop and the entrance to the golf course and around the driving range. And then we also have several tea gardens at the 4th tee and 7th tee and 18th tee, so that's what I do.
Please tell us, the audience. Please tell us about an audience working with the Special Olympics.
Okay, yeah. This will be their 17th year working with the Special Olympics at Pine Trace Golf Course.
Wow, 17 years.
I have a question, because I accidentally forgot to say my name.
I'm sorry, Dan. I
Do
apologize.
you recommend a specific brand of garden tools?
I think the main thing is to have a good set of basic tools and to keep them in good shape.
Do you find this brand strong and easy to use, and why?
I don't think not so much a certain brand, but just that you get something that's well made and that you remember not to leave it out in the rain so it doesn't get rusty, and keep the edges sharp and things like that.
Don't know it, Ryan.
Please, how can you be reached? Our listeners wish to contact you.
Well, the place where I am is at Pine Trace Golf Course, and that's in Rochester Hills. And the address to the golf course is 3600 Pine Trace Boulevard, and that is off of South Boulevard between Crooks and Adams Road.
Do you have a website where customers can view your work and gain information about your skills?
Well, the website for the golf course is www.pinetrace.com, and people can call the golf course, and they're open 7 days a week from pretty much dawn to dark. And you can also book your tees online. People can book their own tees online or call and do that. And then if they come out, they'll probably see me out there working.
Ryan, our garden questions are finished. Let's get into our fun questions.
All right.
My first question is, what is your favorite color in gardening?
Oh, well, I like actually the blues and purples. I like those colors.
What is your favorite restaurant?
What's my favorite restaurant?
Yeah, come on, you can tell me. Anything, Mrs. Anything.
You know what, Ryan? I really don't have a favorite.
We are food lovers. We're asking you that
Come
question.
on, Mrs. Sawyer, just tell us any restaurant, anything.
I don't have a favorite restaurant. You know, actually, I'm not a big restaurant person.
Oh, great.
Oh, Lord, help me here.
Oh,
What is your favorite vacation spot?
my favorite vacation spot. I like things that are outdoors.
All right.
So when we went to Yellowstone Park, I like that a lot.
What is your favorite TV show?
My favorite, well, I like Lost. I'm a fan of Lost.
Lost? My favorite
Okay,
show is CSI.
Oh, okay.
my favorite TV show would be The Love Boat,
Oh, okay.
but I haven't seen it yet. It's time for me to wrap it up here with my
Well,
last
can
two
I tell you
questions.
guys a little bit more about the Special Olympics?
Sure, you can tell us. Sure.
Is that all right?
Sure, I don't mind.
Sure.
Okay.
You can tell us a little more about
Well, like I said, with Pine Trace Golf Course, this will be the 17th year that they've had Special Olympics, and it's always the first Monday in August.
Yep.
And what they do is they have the Special Olympics athletes come out after the day of golf, and they have a tournament for skills, chipping and putting and driving, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and over the years, Pine Trace has raised over $400,000 for the Special Olympics.
All right.
My last two questions. What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie. Well, guys, you got me there.
Uh-oh.
I don't
Don't
have
tell
a
me you're not a movie
favorite.
gal.
And
I
don't tell me it better be Twister. It better not be that movie.
No, it's not Twister. I don't have a favorite.
You said you're a gardener. What kind of pop do you drink?
What kind of pop do I drink?
I'm gonna guess. Diet Coke.
No, I like Pepsi and Red
All right.
Pop.
So we're out of time.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm Mr.
before
Ryan
we
Nicholas
end,
Gray.
please welcome Erin Connie or Connie Castle.
Mr. Aaron Castle. Aaron.
A member of our team show who serves our show
As a co-director.
float director. I'm the co-host Derek Dutil, and our host.
I'm Mr. Ryan Nicholas, wishing all of you have very happy and wonderful
And please,
safe May.
Mitch, your full name before our show.
And point to the show.
Oh, my name is Laura Sawyer.
Well, please meet you. Have a nice day. I'm David Taylor. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, folks.